Hello, Taurus, and welcome to this, your August 15th through August 31st reading. I do owe each and every one of you an apology for my disappearance from my regular video posting. I had some stuff going on in my life, and unfortunately, it prevented me from being able to record videos and get them out to everyone. So I do apologize. Thank you for sticking with me and coming back to the channel. All right, let's get started, Taurus. We're going to pull cards for 5, 6 different areas of your life. We're going to look at some challenges that you have coming up, some unexpected influences, messages that you need to hear at this time. But the first cards are going to be having a quick peek into where you're at now, what energies are affecting you at this time. Woo. All right, we had basically almost half the deck pop out all of a sudden. So look at that. I'm not sure if that's going to come into focus. So let's just take this smaller bunch of cards and see what's meant to come out for you. All right. That one. And that one. There we go. Narrowing things down just a little bit for you here, Taurus. Okay. What are you focusing on? What are you focusing on mid to late August? Oh. We got cards flying out here. So that's actually a good thing for what you're focusing on. We've got 3 cards out. Is there anything else? Nope, that's about it. All right, that was the first card, second card, and third card. Okay. This is going to be difficult influences, or some people like to look at it as challenges. You know, for some people, I don't know why I'm being called to say this for you right now, Taurus, but for some people, being challenged actually encourages them towards action. So, yeah. So maybe that's what we need, is a few challenges in your life right now. All right, we've got 3 cards that have come out. All right, the next cards that we're going to pull are messages that you need to hear at this time. Well, there's a few of them that have decided to come out. All right. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and 4. There we go. Unexpected. What's unexpected for you, Taurus? Unexpected. August 15th through the 31st. There's 1 card out. Anything else that's unexpected for Taurus for the last half of August? Okay, so we do have another card here. I'm going to pull that one out as well, just because it didn't go back in the rest of the deck. All right, and where are we going for your general overall outcome? Over here to the Osho Zen. Might pull one other card from another deck as well. I just got called over this way as well. So overall outcome for Taurus. That one, and I'm getting called over here to this deck as well. See, I knew there was a card in there for you, Taurus. Oh, and maybe a few more. All right. Maybe not quite that many. See if we can get this all. That one. Okay. All right. Okay, Taurus, in where you're at now, you have the 10 of Wands and you also have the 6 of Wands. Interesting that one of these came up in the reverse position and the other one came in the upright position. So, 10 of Wands is a card of work and feeling like you've got too much work on your plate. If you look at the card here in the upright position, this is a card of, you're putting in the efforts and you're reaping the rewards from that. But in the upside down or the reverse position, it's an indication that the work that you're doing is beginning to feel more like it's an overwhelm and like it's a burden to you, as opposed to, okay, I've got this that needs to get done and that needs to get done. And you just go into actually doing it. But when it's in reverse, it's like this overwhelming burden. And so there is this sense, Taurus, that here in the middle of August, you're feeling overburdened. You're feeling like you've got way too much going on, and you just don't know which way to turn when you get up in the morning with regards to trying to suss out, what do I need to accomplish today? But you also have the 6 of Wands here, which is a card of triumph over adversity. This is a card of good news, feeling like you're riding in on a horse and you're being celebrated. So yeah, like this is a card of being rewarded for the work that you are putting in, despite the fact that the work that you are putting in at this time is really making you feel like you're overwhelmed. What's coming up for me intuitively and into like just this intuitive download right now for you, Taurus, is I think that for some of you, you need to hear this. When we are in relationships, it's easy for us to look at the other person and for us to think we're doing more than someone else. And when we get into that place of comparing ourselves to our partners and he did this and I did that and he's not doing enough or she's not doing enough and they're not pulling their weight and so on and so forth, it can really detrimentally affect all aspects of our lives. I don't know why, but that's the sense that I'm feeling with these two cards for you, Taurus, is that you're feeling like you're doing the lion's share of the work, while someone else perhaps is reaping the benefits. Now, I'm not just talking about personal relationships, I'm talking about work relationships as well, where, sometimes you go into your job and you bust your butt and then someone else gets the promotion or someone else gets the kudos for the work that you put the lion's share in, or you feel like you put the lion's share in. I can tell you from experience that if you have a boss or a partner who is in any way, shape, or form awakened to energies, you can most likely just approach them and say, I'm not comfortable with this, or they've already seen it and they've already seen that you put the work in, but somebody else is taking advantage of that. And so, Taurus, I get the sense that this is kind of where you're coming into mid to late August, is this sense that you're putting in more work and someone else is getting the kudos for that, whether that be in your household or whether that be in your job or career. Either way, it's a very uncomfortable feeling. So, like I said, having a discussion with the partner or the boss is definitely potentially in order, or, shifting some energies around so that and don't get me wrong, like I'm not calling in any kind of karma for you at this time, Taurus. Like, don't be, stabbing somebody in the back. That's not what I'm referring to, but I am referring to potentially getting creative in such a way so that your work is rewarded. All right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So we have 3 cards here for you in what you're focusing on, and this explains a lot of this. Okay. If you are in that sense, and as you guys who are familiar with my channel know, I do leave all of the cards sitting face down until I'm actually ready to read them. So I had no idea what these cards were until I was finished reading these. But these cards definitely explain this sense and why I went there with regards to you feeling like you're overburdened, feeling like you're doing the lion's share of the work while someone else is reaping the benefits and taking the accolades. So what we have here is the Ace of Winter, also known as the Ace of Swords, and this is a card of new beginnings. And don't be deterred by the failures of the past. Don't be deterred by the fact that someone else took your accolades in the past. Continue to move forward, and new opportunities are going to be presented to themselves. But in so doing, to ensure that you don't end up back in this situation, you have the Eight of Autumn here, also known as the Eight of Pentacles. And this card is saying, make sure you're doing your research, make sure you're getting advice, and consulting with those in the know before you move into this next project, as indicated by this ace here. The Ace of Winter is, like I said, the Ace of Swords. And the swords are all about the mental acuity, what goes on in our minds, and creating from the mind. So this is about new ideas coming your way. But it also says, don't allow your mind to overrule this new idea by way of saying, you don't want that to happen again, because that can happen sometimes when this ace comes up. So you've also got the Eight of Autumn here. This is the card of do your research, perhaps take a class or a seminar or something like that to make sure that the new opportunity that's presenting itself, that you have all the information for it. And you also have the Nine of Winter here. And now the Nine of Winter is the equivalent to the Nine of Swords. This is the card of getting caught up in your thoughts, getting caught up in that mental space where you keep going, oh, worst case scenario, worst case scenario, worst case scenario. This is my catastrophism card. This is the card that keeps you awake at night. And you will notice that the fairy on this card is being kept awake at night. Severe case of insomnia, wide awake, going, oh my God, worst case scenario, catastrophizing. Okay. The reason that I said that these cards made sense for explaining out these cards is that if you continue to be in the mental space of thinking, oh, he took away my advantage, oh, he or she is, taking something that's mine. If you're in that space and then you're perpetuating that forward, Taurus, our thoughts create our reality. So if we're in that place of jealousy because someone else took the accolades for work that we put in, for example, then that's going to keep us awake at night. So yeah, if you want to create this new reality with this ace coming in, with this eight asking you to do more research, maybe take some seminars and so on, then don't be focusing on worst case scenarios. Okay. In your challenges or difficult influences, you have faraway places. Get ready for new horizons. Yes. Okay. If you are fearful of stepping into the unknown or stepping into a new opportunity that the Ace of Winter is presenting to you because you're fearful, catastrophizing, that the past may repeat itself, then how can you get ready for new horizons? You can't. So it stands to reason that this card is in your challenges right now, because you can't be looking to the future if you're constantly caught up in the past and thinking that the past is going to repeat itself. Okay. This is actually a really beautiful card for you right now, Taurus, because if you can get out of worrying about worst case scenario, this card is indicating that faraway places, some new travel, some new horizons are right there for you for the picking. Answering the call, the time is now. Okay, again, Taurus, this card stands to reason that it's in your difficult influences and your challenges right now, because if you're worried about worst case scenario, if you're still in that place of jealousy and hurt because someone else took credit where you felt credit was due to you, you can't be moving forward and doing things. And you have the transformation card. Now, this card in your challenges is indicating that there is something big on the horizon. This card from this deck is kind of the equivalent to my Tower card from the traditional tarot decks. This is a card of a fresh new way of living emerges. This card has the Phoenix on it. Phoenix is always a representation of something brand new coming into our lives and a huge shift and change for the better. It means that the old way of doing things is out and it's done and it's gone, and it's time to look for a new, fresh way of doing things. But again, if you're focusing on this 9 of Winter, this transformation is going to struggle to come through. Messages you need to hear at this time. Never judge another. That's a good one, right? Because when we're put in a position where we feel like somebody else has taken our credit, we tend to judge that person, and we judge them very, very harshly. Never judge another person. Death is an illusion. Transformation card. Transformation card, right? In order to fully step into a transformation, Taurus, into a different life, a different lifestyle, perhaps a different career, maybe it's stepping into a new relationship. Any of that is transformation. And in order for transformation to really, truly happen, then there needs to be a death of ourselves, a death of the ego, a death of our attachment to the past and our belief that the past is going to continue to repeat itself. If we approach life differently from the last time, with a different viewpoint, then something new can come in. But if we approach life by catastrophizing that the past is going to repeat itself, then we create that. We create the past repeating itself, right? So this card is basically saying that it's okay to let go of the past. And, you know, nothing ever truly dies, but we can transform it transform something from the negative into the positive. And like I said over here with your very first cards, if what you're experiencing right now is a situation where somebody else took credit for work that you put in, chances are, and I said this at the beginning, chances are your boss or someone else in an important and influential position probably recognized what happened. They're probably in that position of authority and that position to be able to make big decisions for work or whatever, to recognize that someone else, if someone else took credit for your work, for example, and they got a promotion and you didn't, chances are they're not going to step into that role very well, because they're not going to be able to, because they didn't actually do the work, you did. And your boss will eventually recognize that. And so that is part of the transformation of the energy. It's, yeah, I'm not sure if I'm explaining this very well, but express your feelings. Another message that you need to hear at this time, Taurus. Yeah. If you're feeling like the past is going to repeat itself, right? If you're feeling like, oh, I want to move into something new, but oh, I can't because the past may repeat itself. Express your feelings. Get it out there. Let the people involved in the situation know that you have concerns. And most importantly, Taurus, forgive yourself. You're human. Okay. You're a soul and a spirit that happens to be having a human experience at this time, and humans have issues, so go easy on yourself. Let's have a look at what is unexpected for you. All right, I'm going to go back to this card. Your faraway places. Get ready for new horizons. This is a card that generally indicates travel, somewhere new, exotic places, something, I mean, whether it be physical travel or just in the process of organizing new travel, that's what this card indicates. And you can't be planning to expand your horizons and go to faraway places if you're caught up in catastrophizing. You have the Page of Wands here. And the Page of Wands is specifically about expanding your horizons, going out and seeking something new. And generally, the Page of Wands and the Eight of Wands, or Eight of Wands, generally both indicate the possibility for future travel. It's, I mean, the Page of Wands is the adventurer. So this coming up for you, Taurus, in your unexpected, there's a good possibility that there's going to be some travel in your near future. And you have the High Priestess here. Yeah. Okay, so the High Priestess is extremely intuitive, and she represents our ability to be able to tap into our own inner strength and to tap into our feminine. In other words, making decisions from that more gentle side of ourselves instead of being really rammy with our decisions, making decisions from a place of emotion rather than making decisions from this sort of mental place. And she brings with her invaluable intuitive knowledge. So going back to this new opportunity that's presenting itself, you're probably going to want to learn a little bit more about this new opportunity. But intuitively, the High Priestess is saying you're going to know which direction to take. And intuitively, you're going to know what to say when you express your feelings. Everything about this, Taurus, is indicating that moving into the middle of August, right around the 15th, 16th, 17th, you're experiencing some pretty icky feelings, some sense of somebody done you wrong. And the rest of the month, moving past, I want to say around the 17th of August, moving past that, you're going to be moving into this place of tapping into your intuition, recognizing that you don't need to be the judge of another person, that karma will do that as well. And there is an opportunity for some travel for you. All right, let's move into your final general overall outcome. Okay, so in your general overall outcome, you do have the fighting card. This card corresponds to the Knight of Swords, and this is a card of putting anger out into the world. And the reality is, like I said, we create our own realities. So if we're catastrophizing, we're creating catastrophe. If we are thinking, I have to get back at that person for doing that, and you've got this fighting mindset, Taurus, you're going to create more of this, okay? But what you're being challenged to do is to transform, to have a little death of your ego and move into this place of transformation. You're being challenged to transform and transmute and do things differently this way, so you can step into this faraway place, expand your horizons, recognize that when you approach things with this knight and with this fighting attitude, if that's the way you've always done it in the past, Taurus, then yeah, sure, the past will repeat itself, just as your concerns were with this ace. But if you are in this place of transformation, you can drop the fighting. You can let it go. Because the other two cards that I was called to pull for you is the Rainbow card. Let's see. No, it's not going to come into focus. Anyway, just trust me. This card says rainbow and it says beauty across the top of it. And the other card that you have is the Moon card, which represents cycles. So as your general overall outcome, you have to recognize that when you drop this fighting attitude, you're going to have an opportunity to move into rainbow territory, into beauty territory, into the fact that you have the ability to transform and not repeat the past again this time. And remember that this is a cycle. And there's only one way to break a cycle. And it's up to you. It's up to you to make the changes, change the attitude, change those late night thoughts of catastrophism. When you change and let go of that, beautiful opportunities, including some travel and stepping up into your own high priestess place, is going to come about for you, Taurus. Okay. These cards have huge meaning for you this month. Really, really powerful cards for you this month. But it's up to you to let go of the old way of doing things so that the past doesn't repeat itself, and just trust that if there's a situation in your world where you feel like you're doing the lion's share of the work and someone else is taking the credit for it, allow karma to do her work as well. And you don't actually need to take steps in order to assist karma. Karma sees all. And that's kind of the point that I was getting at. You know, your boss is going to recognize if they promoted the wrong person because they took credit where credit wasn't due, right? So catastrophizing about things is not serving your highest good. Just change, transform, approach new things that are coming up in your life with a different attitude and a different way of doing it. All right, Taurus, I'm going to leave that off. Thank you so much for being here. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you, and I look forward to being able and having the honor of doing your next reading.